All right, what's up, my friends? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back. All right, so we get towards the end of the year, and if you've caught any of my last few episodes, kind of talking about the excuses people make and how they sell themselves short, and kind of put themselves into a position where, most people when they start a new year, they want to go out banging, right? They want to come out January 1, new goals, new objectives, great things that they want to do in their life. And the way, unfortunately, most people treat, these last couple months of the year is by the time they get to January 1, it's just super sluggish. And I'm not going to go rehash all the things that I said in the last couple of posts. If you did miss the last couple of posts, I would encourage you to go back either on my YouTube channel if you're watching me there or on my website and catch those episodes. I think you'll find it super useful. I've always had my best growth months, always like November and December. And again, I'm not going to go back into why that is. You can go check those episodes. But there's another habit that I wanted to share with you because like here's the thing, like when you're self-employed for a long time, like I've been self-employed for a long time, you develop daily habits and daily routines or weekly or annual routines that you're like, okay, I'm kind of locked in. I mean, at this point, I'm very locked in with the things that I do in my business, daily, weekly, monthly, and annually. And, I want to do my best to share some of those things with you, and you do with it what you want. You can take it and run with it, or you can ignore me. That's totally, obviously, your call. But a couple of things that I do, and this time of the year is really, this is the only time of the year I do the majority of what I'm about to share with you. But like, okay, so you're in a sales game, right? You can sit there and try to say network marketing isn't sales, but your company is a direct selling company. I think it's important you embrace the fact that you're in sales. And yeah, there's creepy salespeople and people that make selling look bad, but not you, of course. You're going to do it professionally in the right way, and it's simply a value proposition. It's a value exchange if you really look at it. So, having said that, if you're in sales, then that means and let's say, and this would work for anybody, network marketing, sales, doesn't matter if traditional selling or network marketing. And, you're creating these opportunities throughout the year. At least you should be. You should be most certainly in a primary business building mode. Like if you're ever going to make money in sales or network marketing, man, you have got to be exposing and inviting and selling, and you got to be, prospecting. I mean, that's the name of the game. Like, that is never going to change. It's just never going to change. So now throughout the year, you have opportunities, and hopefully you're operating in some type of a calendar situation. Now, for years and years, I worked in day runners and Franklin planners and day at a glance, week at a glance, all the things. Okay. And it took me a while to move to digital. I got to be straight. Like it took me a couple of tries, and then everything is now, my calendar is digital, my contacts are digital. Gone are the days of having a physical Rolodex. Some of you guys aren't even old enough to remember what a Rolodex is. But then, so in your calendar, like I'm a Mac guy now, so I use the calendar that just exists in Mac and the contact thing that's inside of Mac. When I was on a PC, and I don't know that Mac maybe has this, I don't know, but I use Microsoft Outlook, which honestly is a fantastic program because it's like one window is open. You got your email in there, you got your address book in there, you got tasks, you got calendar, you got it all in one window, right? So that was a little adjustment for me moving from Mac or from Windows to Mac, but I figured it out. And so what I do at the end of the year is I've had, all of these appointments, right, that are, in my calendar going all the way back to like January 1, different things that are in the calendar. And what I'll do, like, and I'm already beginning to do this, but I really do it the week of the 26th through the 31st. I will sit down and I will go through. And for me, you may not do this, but I do this. I do a combination of two things. Like this fearless networking prospecting partner, I had this actually made for me. Many of you guys have seen this. I didn't make this to sell it. I was, however, just at my warehouse, and I realized we still have quite a few of those. So I'll maybe talk to the team and see if we can get those back on the website. So, but what I do is I literally, and you don't need this to do this, but I log, and you guys that have followed me for a long time, you know I do this because I talk about this. I log every single bit of business building activity. If I call you, if I text you, if I DM you, I don't know how many other call, text, email, DM, if I conversate with you, if I, if I'm engaging in some kind of, attempted interaction with you, how whatever the format is, I log it. And so I've got literally a chronological record from January 1 to December 31 of all the people that I've reached out to. First, date, time, name, phone number, email, notes from that conversation. And so I've got that. And then of course, any appointments, any kind of scheduled follow-ups or meetings, those all exist in my calendar in the past, right? But as you know, no matter how organized or how good you are, there's going to be missed opportunities. There's going to be people that you go back to January 1, you're going like, oh man, I forgot about Ted, man, Ted never joined my business, or I never did any business with Ted or Sally or whatever the name is. And so what I do is I go through the calendar from January 1 to December 26th, when I typically start doing this. And I just pull out a yellow pad, literally a yellow pad, like just like this thing right here. Yeah, I use yellow pads. Look at how there's names and stuff on there, right? So I pull out the yellow pad and I just start writing down all the missed opportunities. People I ended up not doing business with, that I needed to reconnect with or whatever. And honestly, I mean, I typically get 30, 40, 50 names on there between that and then this. Now, this is where I find everybody, whether they ended up in my calendar or not. And so I literally will go back through there. And between the calendar itself and the Fearless Networking Prospecting Partner, I will have a great list of people that I had some engagement with throughout the year regarding business, but maybe we didn't do business together. And that's typically my starting point. So just the reality is timing's everything for people. And even if you shared your business with somebody back in June of this year, and they said, no, I'm not interested, take a leap. Don't ever talk to me about it. Even the people that say, don't ever, I wouldn't touch network marketing with a 10-foot pole. Things change. In fact, some of the best network marketers that I know were those people. And imagine if you just took what they said to you at face value and just, okay, well, I'll never talk to you again about it. And then, but the thing is, somebody else will, and they will end up enrolling. In fact, I got to tell you a funny story because it's perfect for right now. A friend of mine, Onyx Cole, very, very successful network marketer. I created a series years ago called The Dynamic Divas of Networking, and I interviewed 8 women. And I didn't, all the women, I didn't know their stories. So I'm just interviewing them. How'd you do what you do? Where'd you start? And it's interesting because in my conversation with Onyx, she was like, no, Matt, she was doing real estate or real estate investing or something like that. And she had a friend that, was presenting their business to her. And there was a relationship, I think Onyx's daughter was babysitting for this couple. And this couple had approached her a few times and she's like, no, I'm not interested. Network marketing. No, I'm not going to touch it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. And they didn't stop. And they asked a few times. And I think the final thing she said, she's like, look, if you don't shut up about this network marketing thing, I'm like, my daughter's not going to babysit for you anymore. I don't want to hear it. And the response was, okay, fine. Come to one meeting. Just come to one meeting, look at it. And if you don't like it, we will never, ever say a word again. And that was enough to get her to go to this meeting. And this isn't like an actual physical meeting. She goes to now here's the thing. She had never had any prior network marketing experience whatsoever. She had never, in other words, she had never been involved in one, but somehow in her life through her business, dealings, the only thing that she attached was network marketing, not good, network marketing, bad, whatever it was. And so, and I can feel the interview coming up that I did. And I did this interview with her 18 years ago or something. And she's like sitting in the meeting and she goes, if I could have kicked myself in my own rear end, I would have done it. Like, why did you blow them off? Why did you, because she just immediately saw it. She had no idea what she was saying no to. And she ended up building I mean, she had a team in that company, like 23 countries, 300,000 distributors, made a fortune. I mean, I know she's absolutely crushing it in the company she's in now. And here is a person, I share that story because here's a person that might be in your calendar from February or January or March or any other month. And they said no to you, and you're just like, forget it. I'm never going to talk to him again. And I think that's a huge mistake, especially the quantities of people that I know that have, you know, swore off network marketing never, or even never again if they did it. And then they end up coming back here. It's kind of interesting. Like network marketing is pretty wild because when you get it going and you get a little, window of time where you're making whatever amount you're making, like you're 10, 20, 30,000 a month, or even 5 grand a month, and it's going. Like, this is pretty cool, man. I didn't even have to work that hard. And wow. Because where else can you do that? I don't know where else you can continue to get. I mean, residual income is hot. It's good. It's good to have. A lot of people, even if they've had a couple bad things happen, I find, because I talk to a lot of networkers, I find people that I'm never going to do it again. In fact, this morning, literally this morning, I was in the office at like 4 o'clock this morning, and I get this voice shot from a friend of mine, and he was asking me, he goes, "What do you think about this company?" And I just messaged him back. I go, "Bro, I thought you were done with network marketing. I thought you were completely over it." And he's like, he goes, "I got to get out of the car business, man. I can't do this anymore." So, and he's made big money in network marketing. So I share that. I know I mean, that's still on the subject matter because you guys, you need to be in the habit of doing things that yield results. And I can't imagine that you could think of any reason why I would want to have you do something that's going to make you less money. If I can help you do things that, wow, I learned that from Falcone. He taught me to do this. I discovered that. Like I'm making more money as a result of it, then I'm doing my job. And then you'll tell other people about me and what I do for the network marketing profession from a training standpoint. So I don't like, I ain't going to teach you nothing that I haven't proven to work myself. And I'm hoping that you guys will adopt this stuff because I can't train forever. I mean, hopefully not going anywhere, God forbid. But I want to help, and so even if we shrink it down, I'll give you another version of this. So at the end of the year, 26th to the 31st, for sure, go through your calendar from the year and just pull out a yellow pad and like look at those opportunities that were missed. Go through and many of you probably don't do this. I think you should. I think regardless of what you do, you should be like literally having some way of tracking every single bit of business building activity because then you got something to go back to. And I do this, I've done this for at least, I mean, pretty close to 20 years. So, and yeah, it's on paper. I know I'm so old school, right? Uh, so that's the 26th to the 31st, which springboards me into the new year. And then the other thing that I do weekly and actually daily are a couple of other things. This is good for you from a time management perspective. I'll just throw this in. It's not necessarily the subject of this blog post, but it's definitely within the umbrella of it. Is every night before I go to bed, my day is wrapped. I take a peek at my calendar tomorrow morning. I don't look at my calendar the morning of. I look at my calendar the night before the morning. And I'm like, okay, what do I got going on tomorrow? Because sometimes, I don't know about you, maybe you don't do it, but I do. Sometimes I book Zooms at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. Or, even let's say it's a meeting at a local coffee shop at 7:30. I don't sleep in, but God, if I did, or if you do, and you scheduled some random meeting that you don't normally schedule at 7:30 and you're snoring and your phone rings while you're in the middle of snoring and you're looking at it and, hey, hello? Hey man, I thought you were going to meet me here to show me this business that you're in. You ain't going to ever get that person because you were not responsible enough to remember to look at your calendar. So this is not hard. I am like the sheer quantities of people in this business that quite frankly should not be in this business because they have no responsibility. It's like, dude, this is not that hard of a business, you guys. It truly isn't. It's hard work, but like ain't technically challenging. And like just managing, like doing, having a calendar, running your life inside of a calendar, remembering every night before we go to bed, look at what's up tomorrow. What do I got to be prepared for? Is there anything coming up I gotta do? Like a couple days ago, I had to do a corporate and like all associates call for a pretty large network marketing company that I'm keynoting for. And I was like, oh, I know at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, I'm doing this deal for these guys. I want to make sure I'm fully prepared for it. I don't want to be like, and what if that meeting was at 7:30 in the morning? And I wake up and I'm like, oh, panic. I'm not even ready to share what I need to share. And I'm like, now I'm breaking out into sweat. And then I get on camera and I'm freaking out. That would not be pretty. So every night, do that. Just look at what's up tomorrow. And on Sundays, I do this every Sunday night. I go, okay, look back at the previous week. Any missed business? Anything I need to move into this week? Okay, I just look at the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, cool. Either there's nothing there that I need to move or there is. And then I also look on Sunday night. I go, what's coming up this week? All the way through the next week. I don't have to do it 2 weeks out, just the next week. Oh, Thursday, I'm flying out to Dallas to go speak. I better make sure I kind of, whatever. Just basic stuff. But these are little things that, I mean, I don't know if you realize this, but a lot of people simply don't do them. And then they were like, why am I not making money here? Why does nobody join me? Well, because you're irresponsible. And it doesn't take much to, this is all common sense to me. But I found, and I've said this many times, that common sense actually isn't quite common. So we should call it uncommon sense. Anyhow, hope you guys are having a great holiday week. If you're watching me during the holiday week, you might be catching this much later, and it's not a holiday, but every day could be a holiday if you just, bust it in your network marketing business. So anyhow, thanks for being with me. Stay fearless, my friends, and we'll see you on another episode.